This is not a test. This is rock and roll. Time to rock it from the Delta to the DMZ. Is that me or does that sound like an Elvis Presley movie? Viva.
What does Modern Dilemmas offer?
Modern Dilemmas offers a class that's really skill-based and driven by topics that the students and I choose together. So we begin the course by doing a formal debate where students are taught the different skills to participate in the debate, but then students get to pick the topics. Explore our underage drinking, gun control, civil disobedience, and usually capital punishment if it's not done in the first debate. The rest of the topics are really student selected, so I know students this year have expressed an interest in discussing the Syrian refugee crisis. Students have expressed interest in comparing like religious versus civil liberties. So those are some of the topics that we explore with the goal of developing skills to like educate in an educated way, explore those topics.
Okay. Do you take any field trips?
Not in Modern Dilemmas, something that, there's the possibility for in the future, but we haven't ever taken any field trips. I do have guest speakers come in, though, who are experts on the topics that we're talking about.
Projects?
Yeah, Modern Dilemmas is an entirely project-driven course. There's an occasional quiz, but I don't have a single test for that class. It's all projects.
So Modern Dilemmas, it's all about problems and different situations that happen in real life, whether it be probably politics or economically, as in like our debt to China or the current political campaign race that we're doing to find the president. And my favorite memory from that class is probably watching the informational video about the economy of like the U.S. economy and how it truly works and how the U.S. is not, like we're in a good place, like we have one of the best economies in the world, but we owe so much debt that it's gonna take forever to repay that back to China. So that really stuck with me.
So psychology is similar. It's probably more content heavy. The topics that we cover are the methods that psychologists use to gather research. So we talk about surveys and laboratory experiments, and we actually do some research ourselves. And then moving on, we discuss consciousness, which involves a lot of discussion of sleep and dreams, as well as altered states of consciousness that are produced either through meditation, hypnosis, drug use, and students always seem to really enjoy talking about states of consciousness. Then we discuss learning and the different theories and ways that human beings learn. And another really popular topic in that class is abnormal psychology, which is really an exploration of mental illness or mental differences between people. We start out talking about like, what does it mean to be normal? How does our society define normal? And that's really the foundation for how we diagnose people as having a mental. With psychology, I do take one field trip. It's usually only in the spring. We go to Robert Morris University and we participate in a series of 6 different psychology experiments.
Any projects?
Yeah, psychology is almost entirely projects. That class also has quizzes and tests, though, because it is more content heavy, but for every unit I've got at least one project, if not 2. Students conduct their own research, students make surveys and distribute them and collect data on Avonworth student opinions and behaviors, and then we analyze that data. Students analyze their dreams, students analyze their own learning, so lots of projects, and the final project in that class is about abnormal psych.
You should take psychology because you learn a lot about how humans develop and function in society and why they do the things they do. You start by learning a lot about the historians and people that have developed theories about psychology. And then you start learning about different mental illnesses, different ways that the brain acts, and different ways that people evolve from being babies into elderly people. My favorite memory from psychology is whenever we all took 3 to 5 minutes and we meditated, because it really puts you in a relaxed state of mind to think about different things that you're going to do with your life. There we go.
Things that we cover in sociology is the study of people in groups. So things that we will cover in that class are value systems, right, of you and your family or your school or the culture as a whole. Rules in society. We will question why things are the way they are, and even do a deviance project where the student goes out and displays an act of deviance and then reports on it. All right. Religion. What effect does religion have on society? Cultures, subcultures, your family, what effect that has on you being socialized. Changing norms.
Okay, so sociology is like the study of groups of people and society. I found the class really interesting. The most exciting part was the deviance project. It's where you find some sort of active deviance in society, something that's completely different from the norm, and then you go out and do it and you record it and then see what people's reactions are. It was really interesting and I really enjoyed the class.
Economics. All right, so there's two types of economics, micro, macro. Micro is studying economics at the individual business, person-to-person level. So types of businesses, what is sole proprietorship, what is a partnership, and then there's macroeconomics. I personally like macroeconomics better, and I cover it more extensively. So macroeconomics is studying it not at the, what's up? Yeah, sign it up. Studying it not from the personal level, but studying it from looking at the economy from, let's say, 37,000 feet. You know what I mean? Like from the, yeah, you're looking at how things work, how it's structured.
All right, in economics, we learned a lot about the business cycle, inflation and deflation with the money flow, micro and macroeconomics, along with the Federal Reserve and the part that they play in our economy. And my favorite memory is probably playing review games with my classmates and being able to study for our tests.
The purpose of American Conflicts is I try to bridge the gap. Typically you see in schools where students get maybe through the Korean War and into Vietnam, and that's why I created the course. So we start up at Vietnam and we go through the current war on terror. It's not your standard traditional history class. It's more geared to the U.S. military. We look at battles, we look at tactics, strategies, weapons, and weapon systems. Field trips, we do one per semester, sometimes two. The main field trip, we do go to the Ohio Township Police Department. We meet with the police officers, many who are veterans of the current war on terror, and they give us a weapons run through. We are allowed to handle the modern day infantry weapons, including the AK-47 and the M16 assault rifle. The course is project-based. There are no tests. There are only a few small quizzes, and the projects do include coming up with your own battle plans, attack strategies. Yeah, that's about it.
American Conflicts is a class that goes in depth on a lot of America's conflicts that we had dating back to Vietnam all the way up to today's modern day terrorism. It talks about the Iranian hostage crisis, Black Hawk Down in Somalia, and it also talks about different types of weapon systems that we use, such as tanks, assault rifles, and planes. Probably my most favorite memory was taking a field trip to the police station, and we got to handle some of the guns, such as the M16 and the M14 and the AK-47. It's really cool just to see the firsthand what the weapons that they used were. You get to watch a lot of movies like Black Hawk Down. You could watch Saving Private Ryan, a lot of those different types.
Conspiracy theory is a topic-driven class about well-known debatable conspiracies. The class consists of a recognizing spin and logical fallacies unit, as well as several conspiracy studies. Covered conspiracies include Shakespeare, the moon landing, and the JFK assassination. Other conspiracies will be chosen by the students. At the end of the semester, students will complete a conspiracy research project where they present their chosen conspiracy to the class. In every conspiracy study, the students learn every side of the argument, analyze these sides, and choose their own conclusion. Depending on the conspiracy and information available, students will use different medias to learn more, including movies and TV shows.
Okay, so I think that conspiracy theories is about learning how to dissect certain conspiracies and learn different sides about it and what you believe, and just how conspiracies are made and what makes them conspiracies.
Are there any certain conspiracies you really liked?
I liked the Shakespeare conspiracy because there were definitely a lot of different components, and it is a historical author and playwright, so I thought it was very interesting.
Avonworth offers several social studies electives for you to take.
It makes you a well-rounded student and allows you to explore many opportunities.
You should definitely take a social studies elective next year.